Hello friends, this will be a quick one. Yesterday there were questions on, how did we find those two good spots of entry around Bank Nifty. So I want to share the rationale and the reasoning for it. Number one. Number two, based on, yesterday's price action, the profiles, etc. What are the plan for today on the expiry trading sessions? Okay. So now, if you remember pre-market or around market opening, we had said one spot was around 37050 areas, which is roughly around this spot. Okay, and I think the next spot that we identified was something around 37. I think 400 odd areas. Okay, so there were two different rationale for these two things, and that's a good thing to learn and sort of know. Okay, now why did we speak up 37050? I think this was based on a pre-market plan, so the rationale for it was different. So if you look at previous days action, okay, we had faced we had sort of faced resistance here, okay, around the top, and then so I think day before yesterday also we discussed 370 is the zone that we would want to test and see if markets can kind of hold into that zone. Okay, so we had faced resistance around the top here, and we had wanted to see if we had the tenacity to hold into that zone. So now when this opened yesterday, there were two things that happened. One, it bounced off the VPOC. Two, it immediately went past that zone. So that means there was a bullish inflection. Now, why 37050? The reasoning is simple. It's very evident if you see this. Okay, this the fall prior to this, when markets did fall, like prior to this, eventually this and this became the VPOC of the zone. Okay, so this was a lot of volume was accumulated around this zone with VPOC around this region. So the expectation is once you take this out, I would expect this zone to act as a support. Okay, and if you see, then prices wick load around this zone, failed even to get to 37050 to be fair, and then pulled back from there. Okay, so that was the reasoning for our opening trade to long around these levels. Okay, then we said, okay, I think mid session we said if it's not breaking below 400, I'm looking for a long side play. The reason is, again, two things. I'm looking at where there was a continuation and where there was an order flow positive bias. Okay, so if you see this candle and then this candle, right? Okay, so this candle could have been a stop run candle because this was sort of taking out the highs and all, but then this was would have been a continuation candle with good deltas. Okay, so I was looking at this candle to see if there are demand or not. How do we see that? We roll back to our footprint charts and to to really find those zones. Just a second. Yeah, this was the zone that this is a zone that we had marked. Okay, so if you see this, in this zone, we had this buy side delta push, and then around this zone, there were a lot of buyers active, and there was a lot of high good delta, and this would have been a continuation delta. So if these buyers have engaged at this level, they're willing to buy out into this breakout. My expectation is that they would also be interested, and price falls back into the zone, and we would look to see a push up from there. Okay, that was the rationale for this trade, and then basis that, what do we look for today? Okay, basis that, what do you look for today? Today, there are two things that I would want to see is, this was the key volume zone where we this did break out of. So anywhere between this to 500 odd areas, 37, I think, 550 to 37 450, okay, is this area I would expect support to bounce back. If markets are able to sort of hold into the zone and get above, then we'll have a positive to bullish bias. If not, if it fails and get lower, then we would look for a test to 37 200 and then probably a bounce of that areas as well. Okay, and from a nifty point of view, I think this is what we would look for is, by key reference, I have a very clear reference on Nifty, which is 885, 890. If you are able to sort of push above in case of a gap down, and then bullish to neutral bias. If not, then we would look to sort of rotate downside. Okay, 18K would be a wall, and in this case 38K would be a wall. Okay, so definitely. And another thing, Bank Nifty 36,500 has a good P accumulation. We have to see how, in case of a gap down, 36,500 sees do they stack up of, or watch out for 36,500 CP. Okay, in terms of which one is becoming more active and seeing significant additions. Okay, thank you.